Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt, fix several years of financial misbehaviour, and at the minute navigate a 6-week pay period. A week and a half left, I think. We're halfway through week 4. So yeah, a week and a half left. Yes? Yes. I'm back with Budgetmas video number 13, I think, I hope. And it's quite a fun one. It's not this is a list of things. This is the notepad. The notepad is not making an appearance. This is my 12-month budget planner, which I do things when I set my mind to them. Like design, pull together, print and assemble a 12-month budget planner in about a week. Technically less than, if a week is 7 days. But it's not, unfortunately, something I can make available to purchase. It's very much something which is very, very specific to me and my weird, wonderful brain. And therefore, it needs to just work for me this year. It's something I thought about, and you'll have seen me discussing it, particularly if you've been following Budgetmas. It was a recurring discussion, and whilst it is something I would love to be able to offer, as well as the 6-month planners as well, as a physical product, I'm not ruling any of that out either. Not quite the right time. So the print job is interesting because I've literally just run this off the printer, and you'll have heard, if you've seen Budgetmas 12, which was released earlier today on the day you're watching it, on the day of release, you'll have heard me having a few arguments with the printer. Therefore, the print job has been interesting, but it works for me, and that's the most important thing. So I've gone, normally I'm a big fan of a marble effect, and I've tried to amend that ever so slightly, stick the glasses on. I am not a fan of setting New Year's resolutions in January when you just want to survive winter. If you've been around here a while, you know that. But there is a lot of sense in having financial goals that run from a January to December period. So I've got a section for financial goals, but then also for me, this is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So 2 goals for each quarter for me to focus on and potentially reset and redo. And you'll see as well that there are lots of notes, aka show you're working out. Now, in terms of savings and different types of savings, big savings plans and small savings plans. And small savings plans can be something like wanting to complete my Opal challenge, which is essentially saving a bunch of £1 coins until you get to 100, or saving £50 for a new microwave. And big savings plans can be the 3k binder. It's just, I like separating out, and that is why I have chosen to spread this across 2 pages with a separate space for big savings plans and a separate space for small savings plans. Again, very specific to me. And then a tracker. This was something that made an appearance in my first ever iteration of a 12-month binder, 12-month planner, and I loved working on this. Essentially, you write a description of each one. So let's say it's a 3k binder, and then this is an undated planner, but I will run it from January. If I saved £100 in January, £400 in February, and fill in each way, all the way through to month 12, and then at the very bottom I can kind of tot up total overall savings at the end of each month. So if all I worked on one month is this, you can block out, if you reach a savings goal by block 4, you can colour in the rest and block it off. So it's a really good visual kind of key or graph to see and break down. And as a result, I have incorporated this into my 12-month debt one as well. But before I get there, I have got a couple of debt breakdown pages. I have zoomed in and enlarged my crystal debt repayment tracker and inputted it into here, so I can colour it in every time I pay a certain amount to debt, and you can see where I was designing this and starting to try and make it user friendly with instructions for others. And I'm not saying that these will never make an appearance again, but certainly this in its entirety won't be available. And you can see there I've got my debt breakdown as well, which I'll have to do at some point. a description of the debt. And given that a lot of mine have changed hands so many times, I will probably just write debt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The amount itself doesn't change, it's just the name of it, and then it confuses me if they change hands halfway through. So balance owed, minimum payment, interest rate if there's an interest rate, and the priority as well, with the total debt, total minimum, and start date amount. So there's that there for the debt. And then following on with the savings tracker, I also had the same way for the debt as well. So listing all my debts. Some of them I might get down to here and then not start them until here. So it's just a visual graph tracker to fill in. And I'm determined to have a go at the penny challenge. Maybe. We'll see. I tend to do each month as a different set of colour. Now, the lamp and lighting here is a really warm yellow light and there's lots of shadows, so it won't do justice to the proper colours that I have here. And again, this is not a professional print job, this is a domestic printer, so it won't fully enhance everything. But month 1, which is obviously for me January, and all of the months have this. There's a slimmed down version of the planner, and then I've got my weekly budget itself, and I do 5 weekly budgets. If it comes to a 6 weekly, we should never have to do that again, but that's a separate thing. With an income, source, budget, and actual, and a total. And then what I've also included this time round is a rollover amount. And then I want to try and get into the habit, if I know I have got a focus that I need to work on that week, and that feeds into my financial goals, I want to get back to putting that in place. Fixed expenses and flexible expenses relatively next to each other, with then a savings section and then a debt repayment section at the bottom as well, and at all times kind of carrying that rollover forward into each amount, so it should all track up. 5 of these spreads, because some months are just 5-week months. And then what I've gone and done is 4 pages total of expenditure, date, category, description, and amount. So that is more than fine, I feel, for the month, and it just keeps it nice and tidy. Month 2 is a really, really pale icy blue, and all of them come with a notes section as well, just to either carry forward into the next month or not. Month 2, which is February, is a really, really lovely pale icy blue, and I've carried the floral theme throughout as well. And as you can see, the structure is definitely the same. There's no variation on this, so it is still detailed, it's still got that colour, it's still got the breakdown that I need, but it is a bit more stripped back and with a lot less extra pages for me to focus on. I don't need to focus on my multiple Instagram streams. I don't need loads of separate challenges in this. I don't need a really detailed goals tracker. I actually just need to focus on my savings, my debts, and my budget overall. Month March, which is month 3, we're going kind of green. This is actually green, it's not yellow. I know it's appearing slightly yellow under this light, but that is the structure that I have as well. And again, even these little ring binders here were free, left over from when I was making my savings binders, savings challenge binder laminate things. So that was all used up. Obviously the paper I had, and then I also have the ink. So I have all of that as well. We've got a really lovely lilac set as well for April. So again, undated. And I may, the core of this, I'm really happy with, given that it was a week. And I rushed to finish this because I want to go into 2025 as organised as I can be. Do you need budget planners to be organised? No, not at all. The very first thing I ever started on was literally a little lined notebook, which I had lying around the house. And this entire process that you've seen me through Budgetmas and through this 6-week period, I've not been using a budget planner. I have been using a lined notebook, albeit A4 rather than A5, and a calculator either on my phone, and a biro and coloured pens, which I already had. That was it. Because you don't need these things to get organised, but I want to try and get myself, I'm almost contradicting myself, I think, when I say this. I want to have a really tracking, organised, ready year. And if it means that I need to put something together like this to do that, to help me along, that's absolutely fine. But my point still stands. You don't need something like this to start budgeting and to be organised with your money at all. particularly if you're a digital user as well. There are so many free apps and free things and stuff that you can access that you don't need to. I do struggle to stick with planners and journals and things long term. It's why in the past I've always done like a 3-month or a 6-month, but I need to knuckle down this year. From firstly a savings perspective, in fact, I'm coming swiftly to the conclusion amongst all of those half-baked plans and ideas that you saw me talk about earlier. I'm swiftly coming to the conclusion that my primary focus for the first quarter of the year is going to be saving. And then as we move into the second half, or the latter half of the first half of this year, so May, June, that will be when I then go, right, where are we at with my debt? In the past, I've always tried to deep dive into my debt first, and I've not been given myself like enough backing to cover emergencies and issues, and it's therefore meant that the progress I've been able to make on my debt has been relatively small because I have to take funds from elsewhere, and that's what I really want to try and avoid. There was a really good comment on one of my videos over Budgetmas, and you'll forgive me, at the time of filming, I can't remember who said this, but it was when I was going through my binders and I'd asked for just kind of, feedback, which I generally do, and someone had said, like, it seems like when you created these, you were potentially trying to keep up with like other budgeters, and I think there's definitely an element of that. There's an element of wanting to have all of the really nice things, and then when you can't afford to do it because you're just starting out, it can feel, there's that awful print job, it can feel really disheartening, and it can feel like you're not doing well. And I just want to reiterate, don't be me. Don't do what I do, which is stuff like that. It's also really easy to think that having all of these things will help somehow miraculously make your saving and your debt payment easier. As I've established from my earlier Budgetmas video today, ultimately for me it's an income. It's an income issue because I can't get ahead fast enough to cover things that pop up from an unexpected income perspective. And then that has a knock-on effect, as I was saying, on my ability to make progress on my debt and put and re-top up or just even create savings. That being said, I need to try and stick at using this. I need to try and get going on everything, and I need to use whatever I have at my disposal to be organised and on it this year. This is probably the quickest I have ever created a binder or a planner. And it is, despite the colours, and to me it's the colours and the patterns that keep me engaged, because I will forget, for example, that this is a spread when I'm getting bored around about month 3. This is, if I move to make any available as physical products, it will probably be my existing 6-month and 3-month planners first. I need to see how I go working at a 12-month planner. And 2025 feels to me like the FAFO year, the F around and find out year. It's been 2 years of me stopping and starting and not really getting very far off the finish line and taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back and all of those analogies, and I'm really tired of it. While I can feel that there has been a behaviour change, and while I can feel that certainly my mentality and my decision making is completely different, I'm not seeing the financial progress in terms of savings and debt payments that I would have liked to have seen go with that. And granted, there has been major things popped up and fires that I've had to fight and deal with, and I have dealt with them, but I really don't want a 3rd year of that. Like, this can't be my financial life because it's exhausting, and budgeting isn't easy. And I'm going to do a video about, actually, everyone says budgeting is this fantastic thing, and on one hand, yes it is, it's also bloody hard and exhausting, and there are times when you really don't feel like it, and then weirdly the times you don't feel like it is when it all tends to go a little bit wrong. So I'm hoping that I can use this to make a good start. You will see me start to input this. It's partly why I've as well been holding off on 2025 plans, because I want to get it all in here and ready to go. And you're going to see me start to use that and get that set up throughout Budgetmas, and see me get organised. That's it for Budgetmas 13. You'll have 2 more videos tomorrow, either a midday / early afternoon one, and then a late afternoon / evening video as well for you to enjoy. I don't know what they're going to be yet. We'll find out and see. But yeah, I hope you like this. I'm gonna now just curl up and have an early night, and I will see you all very, very soon. Have a fantastic budgeting week wherever you are in the world. Bye bye for now.